One of my favorite teachers is currently a professor here under the linguistics department at UCSD, and I would say that he has had one of the more memorable and impactful teaching styles that I've experienced during my undergrad. I got to take two of his classes in my third year. The first was a phonetics course, and the second was a speech science and disorders class. One method that he employed for both of the classes were daily attendance quizzes, and essentially for those quizzes, you were tested on the knowledge that you acquired for that day's lecture, and you were also allowed to work with your peers. So I really like this style of teaching and learning because you, apart from being able to work it through with your peers, it was just to make sure that you had gained the knowledge and to know that you're being tested on it. I feel like that motivated me to learn about it more. So for that, I would say that these quizzes kind of blended the three learning methods or frameworks that we went over in lecture: Piaget, Thorndike, and Vygotsky, since it did require some logical exploration, a bit of memorization, and also the peer collaboration component. Another teaching method that I found useful more so for the phonetics course were the homework assignments. So in these assignments for the first half, you were required to record yourself pronouncing some words written in IPA. And then for the second half of the assignment, you would watch videos of the professor himself pronouncing different words and then try to interpret them using the IPA as best as possible. So these homework assignments required a lot of repetition and just rehearsal until you were able to get some of the phonetic sounds down, and then also it would test you on your perception of them. So because of that, I would associate this teaching style with one of the principles from the top 20 principles of how students think and learn, specifically Principle 5 that states acquiring long-term knowledge and skill is largely dependent on practice. Again, because this did require just using that external stimuli, internalizing the knowledge, and then being able to provide the best output through a lot of practice of perception and pronunciation. For the last learning approach, it was again more relevant to the phonetics course, and it was a project that we were working on throughout the whole quarter. So basically for this project, we were asked with choosing any language and then finding a speaker of that language that we could work with to develop a list of minimal pair words. I would say that it was also largely social interactive dependent because in order to write a good paper, you needed more insight from a speaker of that language who knew more of the intricate, smaller details that aren't covered in, for example, a dictionary. So for that reason, I would say that this project had more of a Vygotskian learning approach, which altogether these classes and the professor really stood out to me. Thank you.